everybody, thank you very much. This is the Ayer Affordable Housing Committee meeting. I'd like to go ahead and read the remote participation. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Baker issued an emergency order temporarily suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirements that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so as long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberation through adequate and alternative means. This meeting will be broadcast on live Channel 8 and on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by following the call-in information on the bottom of the live broadcast screen. For Zoom meetings information relating to remote participation, please contact Cindy Knox, the IT director, at cknox@ayer.ma.us or call 978-772-8252, or Alicia Hershey, Community Development Program Manager, at ahershey@ayer.ma.us or call 978-772-8221 prior to the meeting. Present at the meeting is myself, Janet Providakis, the chair of the Affordable Housing Committee. Also have, I'll everybody introduce themselves. I'll start with Karen, being the co-chair.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you state your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. Karen Swanfelt.
Okay. Ken?
Ken Diskin.
All right. Sarah?
Sarah Withy.
All right. And we are going to be joined also too by Ron Morrison, who will be joining us a few minutes late. And with us too is Alicia, who is our administrative help.
Guru.
You got it. We'd be lost without her. All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And one of the first items is to approve the agenda. Everybody has the agenda in front of them. Are there
Yes.
any corrections or any additions that people would like to make?
I did not receive, my computer has been completely out of sorts. So I don't have any paperwork in front of me, Janet.
I just sent out the agenda again, or maybe, yeah, I think I did just this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get minutes done. And this isn't Scott's fault. I didn't find them on the APEX site, and I was looking wrong. And so, and I was out earlier this week because I was ill. So I didn't get minutes done.
I just got it.
Okay, good. But I
it.
didn't send out the agenda earlier, just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I got it on my phone.
Janet, my one question for you is, do we amend it that we're postponing the September 18th minutes?
I think that would be good. We'll
Okay,
go
so
ahead
we
and
amend the agenda? And-
right.
Okay,
All right. And we'll postpone it till November 20th, our next meeting. All right. Then moving, since the agenda has, other than that amendment, we're going to move forward with any type of public comment. Do we have anybody else here from the public who'd like to participate? I
do
don't.
we have to pass the agenda amendment and pass the agenda as amended?
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. When you go ahead and make a motion, can you just give your name too, so that people who are on the phone know who's giving it?
Ken Diskin made the motion.
Okay. Karen?
Karen Swanfelt seconded.
All right. And all in favor? Sarah?
Aye, yes.
Okay. Ken?
Aye.
Karen?
Aye.
And chair says aye, so it's been approved. All right. Like I say, I'm looking at the list of participants, but I will keep asking if there's any type of public comment. Also, too, if the public does have any type of questions or concerns, please give an email to or call Alicia over at A. Hershey at air.ma.us for the 978-772-8221 number. All right, next on the agenda is we welcome our new member, Sarah. She was given the thumbs up from the Board of Selectmen. I really do appreciate you coming in and welcome.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great addition. Sarah takes the place of Steve Wetzel, and Steve, I'll read the letter that he sent to the group here as well as to the select board. Dear Janet Providakis, it's with disappointment and regret that my schedule no longer allows me the time to be an active member of the commission as I have been in the past. Please accept this letter as my resignation from the commission, signed Stephen Wetzel. I know that he still wants to participate, in feedback, so we're going to still be including him as with the minutes, with the agenda and such, so he'll know when we're going to be meeting and such. So,
Janet,
yeah.
Carly wanted me to explain that if he wants to be an alternative member, he needs to be appointed as an alternative member by the select board.
Okay.
At this point, he hasn't said that, has he?
No, he has not used those words, but I'll reach out to him again. All right. Okay. All right, so moving on, we've got the proposed housing trust. I believe everybody here has received the warrant in their mail. Let's see. I've got my copy right here. We are Article number 6, which I think everybody, I know we tried putting in more text, and like I gave you a heads up, Sarah, even if we wanted to put some items, town council does abbreviate some of the things. And I know that the way that the town has been trying to eliminate a lot of paper, so they're trying to keep not only the warrants, but when it comes to the town report and everything, so that each committee has like a single page that they're going ahead and doing. So the Article 6, I don't know whether or not I might as well just read it. Is to see if the town will vote to accept the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, Section 55C, and to establish a trust to be known as the Ayer Affordable Housing Trust, whose purpose shall be to provide for the creation and preservation of affordable housing in the town of Ayer for the benefit of low and moderate income households. Said trust to be overseen by a board of trustees consisting of 7 members appointed and acting pursuant to and in accordance with the provisions of General Law 4455C, or take any action thereon or relation thereto. Now, we do have the explanatory note below it, as well as what we'd like to do. As I told you that I believe it would be great for us to have copies of the Chapter 44, Section 55C for the individuals who are curious about what it pertains to, as well as Sarah's brochure that will be available for individuals to go ahead and pick up at the town meeting. When we presented this to the Board of Selectmen, they also received the same items so that they were able to see what we have to present, as well as the slideshow presentation. And Alicia, I think that went over very well.
Yeah, I think it went very well.
Okay, so Sarah,
Just on the brochure,
pardon?
just on the brochure, I'm gonna print those out and start folding. If we get close, how many do you think we need?
I'm gonna say, at least 75.
Oh, 100. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
100 would be good. And if, like I say, if you want to, if you print them, I'll fold them.
I might put some of them in a packet for you.
I don't mind doing all of them. I mean, like I say, I can go ahead and do that. Also too, because next week I have the week off. Finally, I got some time off. So yes, I can help out. And I think that will give some, like I say, a little more guidance of what this affordable housing trust will be. And Ken, thank you for pointing out, getting getting rid of the word fund, because I did find that all over the place where we wanted to make sure that got cleaned up. So anybody's got any questions or whatever with regards to the warrant article? No? All set? All right, I can say it was a good discussion. Now, I'm moving on, okay? Prior to that, we had a discussion with regards to the bylaws, because there was back and forth a little bit on whether or not the bylaws needed to be included or not. And we ended up, as you can tell, we don't have it included. However, in the description of that explanatory note, it does say the specific bylaws governing this trust are under development by the Affordable Housing Committee and will be presented for town meeting approval at the 2021 annual town meeting, which means what we need to do after all this, after this is accepted by the town, is then delve further into that bylaw that we've been working on. Town council did take a first gander at it and remove some of the wording of the bylaws that had been gone ahead and circulated. They also said that if we are going to have something like a declaration of the trust, we need to have that as a separate document. So that's just some of the items.
Can
Again,
I just jump in?
yeah.
So I reported that the bylaws did not have to become part of the town bylaws, because that's originally what Robert was told by the town council. But then it got switched around after they sent it all to them, and they said, no, it does have to be included. So what Janet's, I don't know if we've talked about this with everybody, but what Janet's explaining is that now we're going to pass the bylaws in the spring, rather than try and cobble something together and put it all together, but put the trust out there now.
I'll follow up on that. So that opinion from town council, have you got that from any other town council around the state, or only from our town council? Because they're both, I think we should double check that.
Well, so what happened was Robert originally asked verbally, and they said, no, it doesn't have to happen. And now when it was in writing, he got a different answer. I'm not going to argue with our, town administrator on what we need to do.
Okay, so I think they should give us a written explanation and turn it into Janet, and back it up with the data from other towns that found out how they did their bylaws. That's my recommendation for people to consider.
Ken, let me just get a clarity on your recommendation. The warrant article, you're not stating that the warrant article needs the bylaw attached to it, all right?
No.
You're talking about.
What I'm talking about is we asked a question, we got an answer. The question was asked by Robert a second time, and he got a different answer. So because of the ambiguity in the answer, I think it needs to be clarified in writing so that we can proceed knowing as a committee between now and the spring town meeting whether adding a bylaw to the town's list of bylaws, number 72, whatever it ends up being, or we're actually developing bylaws for the Air Affordable Housing Trust.
Okay,
In either case, we're doing bylaws for the trust, but there's a big difference in enforcement and a big difference in, how you can amend it. We talked about this before, not having to go back to town meeting if there's a change or something comes up. So this is a big deal as far as I'm concerned.
So what I'll write it up as is to confirm the bylaw process, and that's what we'll start doing for the next meeting.
and we need this, we need this in writing beforehand. Because again, what we are going to be working on, is it going to be just for the trust fund, the trust itself, or does it have to be part of the town bylaw? I think that's what you're saying, Ken. It's either going to be kept close to the Board of Trustees, or is it the whole Town of Ayer bylaws?
Correct.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to say really that clarification that's going to be coming from town council is going to say it's going to have to be part of the town's bylaws, because it is going to get voted on at 2021 town meeting, the annual town meeting. So I'll make sure we get a letter to clarify this is that step that has got to happen. And this is, and again, if it does become the town, part of the town bylaws, then you're right. It takes a lot more to go ahead and make amendments. So we need to focus in truly and get feedback before it can do that. So I know what I'm trying to say is we are going to need stricter, maybe that's not the word, more complete public information, public feedback on the bylaws, since it's going to get locked in stone more if it's part of the town versus if it's just part of the trust. So, okay, I have that as one of my to-dos of making sure we get that. And like I say, we did get feedback, and I found it interesting that the feedback the town council gave had the original document that still had the 2017 and 2018 dates in it. So it's that original one that got sent back in June. So like I say, I smile.
You're not taking a vote on Ken's suggestion, but if you were, I would just say I second that.
Okay.
If I could, I support that.
All right, that sounds good. And Karen?
I also support that.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It definitely
does. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Because it's totally different document if it's, one that the town's got to handle, the one's part of town or versus the part of the committees.
Absolutely.
Dana, I think that the idea that we verify, you and I do some outreach to MHP and things like that, and just confirm what other towns have done as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like I say, when I sent a letter to Shelley from Mass Housing Partnership, she went ahead and said pretty much most towns go ahead and just use the Mass General Law as being, these are the guidelines. This is what we've got to go by anyways. Mm-hmm. And that's why I want to get copies of these to be available during the town meeting, so that when someone, goes ahead and says, well, what does the board look like? How come the board is getting, or not the board, but the Board of Trustees is appointed by the select board. It's in here, this, like I say, Mass General Law is that they get appointed. However, the bylaws that we have spoken about say that even though the members of that Board of Trustee will be appointed by the select board, they're going to be recommended by us. So we go ahead and give the names. And like I say, that's something that we want to have in our bylaws, that the Affordable Housing Committee recommends the individuals to be on the Board of Trustees. All right, so that's where, like I say, we've got the guidelines that go from Mass General Law, and then you have the bylaws that we want to go ahead and make sure are unique to the Ayer Affordable Housing Trust. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so with that, that's why I want to have that Mass General Law, printed off. And it will
That's what I was gonna ask you. Do you want me to print off 50 to 75 of those?
I'd say probably between 25 and 30. I don't think we're going to need as much. The handout really says it all. I mean, again, Sarah, you're probably going to get sick of me saying this, but it is very inclusive, that brochure. So it does help out at answering the questions in a nice format. Not a lot of people read Mass General Law, but there will be those individuals that want to know the detail, and sometimes the devil's in the detail. So, all right. So yeah, about 25 of these. And like I say, I do, because on the brochures, one good thing is this can be used continuously as well. We can have them available when town hall opens, so when people want to get more information, it is there. So, but I don't know how much we want to get into with these bylaws. Like I say, the town council has gone ahead and did some edits. I think what I'd like to do is have our version that we did, have the version from town council, and then merge the two of them to have the edited version that we can start working on, and have that for the next meeting. I think that will be the best way of putting all this together. So again, you get to see what the original was, what town council said, and then merge the two together to what our next draft would be that we can work on. Does that make sense to do for our next meeting?
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
I just had a thought, Janet.
Uh-huh.
The brochure that we did,
Yeah.
we just sent information over to Cindy to put on the town website of what we're making available down here through a brochure. And she's putting that brochure on the town website for us. Can our brochure go up on that before the meeting?
Yes, there can be.
I think
Good
that,
idea.
yeah.
Okay.
And what she needs is, Sarah, how you created the brochure, send it to Cindy via your computer, not scanning, whatever program you use to create it. And then Cindy can tweak it and put it on the town website before the town meeting.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good?
That's Cindy.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Cin.
Hi. Yeah, if you could just send me, like a JPEG of whatever you want promoted, I can put that on the website and on social media
Okay, great.
as we get closer. We're
Yeah.
getting very close. Oh my God.
And people do go to the website
Yes.
on an ongoing basis. So,
Yep.
When you're saying to the website, are you putting stuff out on Facebook, Cindy?
Yes. So
So-
typically what we do is we have a page set up for town meeting, and any supporting documents that go with any of the articles we put right on that page. And we usually will put those out on social media as well.
Okay, quick question. Does it have to be a JPEG or can it be a doc or a
It
PDF?
can be anything. I can convert it. But I know Sarah's a graphic person, so she's good.
PDF, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you have it as a PDF, and same thing. I can do the same
Yeah, I
thing.
can turn PDFs into JPEGs in one
Okay.
click and a clack, I think. So.
Okay. All right. So Sarah, thank you for taking care of that. And like I say, we can put the Mass General Law out there too as well, because you're still going to do the each single one of the warrants goes out as a Facebook link too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that usually happens.
Yep, that's already gone out.
Each
So
one of the
the-
articles?
The warrant's gone out.
Yeah, the warrant has, but I thought you highlight each one of the articles or something.
We do that. Robert does. Robert takes care of that. He creates like an article of the day.
Okay,
So as long as there's in whatever you're using as promotional material, as long as you're not encouraging people to vote one way or another,
Mhm.
that would probably be fine.
Yep, it's just information. All right, Karen, I saw your hand up.
Oh, no, I was stretching, sorry.
Okay, all right, you're allowed. You're definitely allowed. All right, so I think that works out pretty good. Because then this way here, everybody's got the same document that we'll be able to work on. And then we can make it available so that at our November 20th meeting, we can make it available as one of the documents of the meeting, so that if we do have additional participation from the public, they're able to see what type of bylaw that we're going to be working on. And some of the stuff that the town council, I mean, they got rid of some, like say, one paragraph, just because, again, a declaration of trust needs to be a separate document. So, and then I've started working on some of the applications and such by looking at some of the other towns and some of the guidelines by looking at some of the other towns as well. So hopefully we'll be able to work on those on November 20th. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just looking at the agenda where we've got, that was the bylaws. And then we've got the town meeting reminder of October 26th, 2020 at 7 p.m. I know that there's going to be another meeting, I believe. I saw on, is it October 20th at the select board meeting to discuss the number of individuals for a quorum. I think the last time I saw that they want to reduce it, I believe from 50 members. Alicia, have you heard anything about that?
I've only heard that they're talking about it. I haven't heard anything on it.
Okay. All right. So I know that that's some of the things that
If you got this approved.
I didn't hear that.
No. Someone walked in my office.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking at the agenda for 5:45 on the 20th. There's no number on there, but they are going to discuss reducing the quorum.
Okay. All right. So no matter what though, everything's still going to be happening over at the high school, and there'll be, guidelines with the masks, guidelines with social distancing and all that, from the discussions I've heard. So again, that goes pretty straightforward. Anything, I mean, I know it seemed to have gone through the agenda pretty quick. Is there anything else other individuals would like to go ahead and be able to discuss on the items here on this agenda?
So I think we got the initial, Ken might have this better than I do, about the Fitchburg Road. The initial, I don't think we have the 40B application yet. Does the planning board have the 40B application yet, Ken?
No. Well, if it hasn't been given to us, it could be with Mark,
Okay.
but it doesn't go to the planning board anyway. It goes to Board of Appeals, I believe.
Oh, yes, to the zoning board of appeals. I'm sorry, I should have checked on that before this meeting. But
We get
that,
a copy of the documents eventually, I guess, for comment maybe, but
yeah. So I know that that's moving forward, but I'm not sure that the application has been put in front of the zoning board quite yet. Okay, and that is a nonprofit who's looking to put affordable housing there.
And how many units were they talking about, Alicia?
Possibly 100. So,
those applications go to Mass Housing and
yeah.
other
But-
divisions of the
But the
state.
town does have to have that hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I'll follow up on that with everybody, with an email to everybody on where that is. Because I should have had that for discussion today, and I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with what's happening. So
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like I say, with the holiday and you're not feeling good this the beginning of the week, we understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know that with regards to some of the developments over in Shirley, gather they have started. People have moved into Shirley Meadows, the new one on Hospital Road. So that one it's amazing because it's the Chelmsford Housing Authority, I gather, or Housing Trust that is
Managing.
managing it, but it's Shirley Meadows. However, it's in Harvard, or Devons. So it's ended up being quite a tongue twister, if you want to call it that.
One of the things, if I could comment on that, one of the things I found interesting, I think I might have the picture on my phone. I took a picture of the sign they put up on when they were doing construction that listed all the sponsoring agencies. It was quite a list of agencies involved. That was a big operation there to get all those people together. So if that's what it takes, it's definitely a lot of work.
Wow. That would be, yeah, I'd love to see that list.
Yeah, all kinds of
All right.
enterprises, banks, on it went. So
Uh-huh.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about when we went to the last housing meeting about how much money it takes to build an affordable unit.
yeah.
So there's tax credit money, there's all sorts of different organizations that kick in. And when you're working with a nonprofit, that's the way they have to do it because, they're not going to get enough money otherwise to get that number to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I, as I said, I'll send out a little bit of a follow-up, just, an FYI type thing. I'll go gather some information and send it out just so everybody knows where we're at on this, because this is going to be coming down the road, possibly quicker than we thought. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is the Fitchburg Road project?
Yes, and
Continue.
pretty much it's pretty much across from the grocery store.
Well, it's flag property. It's easy.
Yeah, the flag property. How far down is it, Alan?
It's next to the bus of Anderson Funeral Home.
Oh.
Right after Anderson Funeral.
Did you hear him?
No,
Right.
It abuts the Anderson Funeral Home.
Which that's the flag property. And from what I understand, they wanted to get rid of that for a while. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia, when you come back with your answer, just remember, I'm not experienced with this stuff. So I'm really curious what the process is. Like, it's my understanding there's like initial talks with the town, and then they submit a Chapter 40B application. And then like, who does it go to exactly?
It goes to the state. It goes to the state because they're stepping past the town's zoning, planning, what is it again? The regulations, the planning regulations, or the building regulations. They go
zoning.
Zoning.
It's
the zoning
they
bylaws.
bypass, 40Bs can bypass local zoning,
Yes.
but nothing else.
Yes.
Wetlands, construction, building, all that stuff is compliant.
And a couple filters tried to do this, but the planning board kept saying you got to do this with a 40B if you want 100 units. Because, well, that's what we heard from
Who said what?
that if they wanted 100 units, they needed to go a 40B.
Sounds like
Because
something Alan would say, not anyone else. And if it was just said, it's still no good. It's got to be in writing. I don't know how simple this stuff is, but people just shouldn't go out and say things.
No. I mean, when the developers came and they kept asking how many can the planning board approve?
Okay.
And under zoning bylaw, they could approve X amount of units, maybe 25 to 50 units.
Okay.
But if they wanted more than that, then they were better off going with a 40B because that would step them around. And because of, this is a big parcel, but half of it is wetlands.
Mhm.
And so, but a lot of developers don't like to do 40B unless they're nonprofits, or the nonprofits have the ability to access all those different avenues that Ken was talking about for the tax credits and things like that. A straight developer doesn't always want to go that route. It's a very paper heavy route.
And just to confirm, just for my own knowledge, after the developer submits the 40B to the state, like the town of Ayer doesn't get any like review or hearing?
Well, they first submit it to the town, and the town decides whether it's a friendly 40B or if they're going to contest it.
Okay.
And our housing production plan, once it gets approved by the state, which I need to call MRPC and see where we are at. I've had it submitted to them since, July. But all state organizations are buried in work because we've got all this COVID money we're trying to get out. And so once it gets submitted, first gets submitted to the town, and the Board of Selectmen and the zoning board will have the meetings to decide whether it's a friendly 40B or not a friendly 40B. If it's a friendly 40B, the town gets a little bit more say in it. If it's not a friendly 40B, it goes immediately to the state. And so if the town is in agreement that they want to go forward with this and that they're interested in participating, then they get more say in it. If we have a housing production plan that's been approved by the state, then we can actually stop it if it's an unfriendly 40B, or at least slow it down. And so what we did do was we almost have a housing production plan, but it does need to go get approved by the state. And now it has been generally thought that this location would be a good location for an affordable, friendly 40B. But that's what the whole community has to say, not just us. And there will be a point where there will be a hearing on that before it goes to the state.
What's the
Thank you.
litmus test for being friendly versus unfriendly?
The select board voting on it.
Well, it's
So
in
they
the,
will hear public input.
it's in the application too. I mean, they'll apply for a friendly 40B at the beginning and ask for cooperation from the town, so that they're going to ask that the town become a partial partner in the deal and cooperate
Thank you.
to develop the final configuration and whatnot. But that's really the nuts and bolts of the thing. But they still have to go through the Board of Appeals. They still have to go through the select board, and depending how strong the application is, and if it's pretty clean, it'll just go right through. But the public will have plenty of chance to comment no matter what.
Excellent. And this the 100 units, that will get us to the 10%, correct?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right. Excellent.
It means
Okay.
that our job is easier because then we are more designing what we want to go forward, not just getting to our 10%. Then we start saying, okay, how do we want it to look? What do we want to encourage in the town? All those kinds of things. What programs do we want to support? And we're not just chasing the 10%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is an application form that I think I've got. I'm pretty sure I have it on my computer upstairs, not the one I'm on right now, as I investigated this for other projects that were near my home. And it's a really, really extensive application. And if thoroughly looked at, and they can check every single box on that application, they are in pretty good shape. It'll get into environmental questions. It'll get into their history. You have to know a lot about the history of the developer and their success elsewhere, and a lot of things along those lines. So when the public gets involved, if there's a thought in the community that it may or may not be successful based on their history, then there's plenty of time to talk about it and analyze it and dispute it. Can't just arbitrarily come up with one of these. It's a long, long process.
Well, every time I ask a question, I'm not opposing. So I appreciate
No, I
the
understand. It's a good time for you to
explanation, 'cause
learn. I didn't know if we should be talking about this because it wasn't on the agenda, but it's a great time to talk about it because that's what
Yeah.
we're interested in.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what, I need to go ahead and add something to the agenda that the Board of Selectmen, I believe, have, items not on the, discuss items not on the agenda or something like that. I gotta see what the wording is. That can
We
be
have
added.
we added I think I learned this from conservation a while back, but now we've done it on planning, is we always have, at the end of the meeting, we have, we can call it an administrative report, like it would be a report that would come from Alicia. And then beyond that, new business and old business. So there's just this blank category that you can always discuss things at the end of the meeting as an agenda item all the time. So,
Yeah. I know what we do on CPC.
yeah,
New
sure.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we could just add that in.
Yep. all right.
Or
So
we could have another line just for Karen's comments and something like that, reporting.
reporting
What's
from the COA, from the center, the one and only center. All right. All right. No, that sounds good. Because the other thing too that I was also looking at was the what is it called? Evergreen out on Grant Road. The other ones in Devon's, that the single houses that they've been building. I gather they've got 4 separate sections that they're building, and one is already filled
Yeah.
completely because they just paved the road, and it's pretty impressive of the community that they're building. So those are nice that are local, that we'll be able to go ahead and look at for ideas. I mean, granted, we don't have as much land, but if it works, I still can't believe the price of those houses. It's like impressive. So, but no, those are just some of the things that, again, I was looking at. But it would be good, especially to get to that 10%, because then we'll have a lot more flexibility. Anything else anybody else want to bring up?
I'll just comment a little bit further on that. And one of the things that the town has been doing as a group, meaning conservation, planning, Board of Selectmen, however, is we've really been putting in place for the last 3 years or so the kinds of regulations that prepare us for projects like this to come along. So it's encouraging that we do have a good set of regulations now, and we are taking care of our groundwater and stormwater runoff and conservation issues, so that when a project does come along, it will never barrel right through. It'll go through a lot of scrutiny, and the town is in a good position for that, I believe.
All right, that's good. Well, I think that's some of the other items that, what is it, the last warrant article is one of the things that Harvard is looking at to tie into the sewer line because of additional growth that Harvard is having over on Pear Road. So I think, again, everybody's been stating it's good to get feedback and go to town meetings so that you can get feedback on how you feel about that. But Ken, you're right. I know that the teams and the committees and the boards and commissions have all tried to work together. And I think that's, because many people are on multiple boards and such. So it does help when you share information across the different committees. I know that on the Ayer Housing Authority, I told them that we're, again, going to the town for the housing trust. And Ken Martin was very happy to find out that we'll be working with you, Alicia, for being the administration for the housing trust, because he does say that does take, some time to go ahead and work on it, when the applications start coming in.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, and we've got a good group. I mean, between Council on Aging, the Housing Authority, everything, getting it so that it works together and getting the information out there to everyone is really so important.
correct. Yep, I agree. All right, is there anything else that people would like to bring up? with the group?
Was there anything to mention about Article 9, or were you just touching on it?
I was just touching on it. That's
Okay.
all. No.
What about the second Article 7, where we asked for the $30,000? Did you want to comment on that, Janet?
With the comment, it goes ahead. I can, again, it pretty much is straightforward that the 30,000 will be coming from the Community Preservation Fund, from the housing category to the trust. And again, if Article 6 is approved, Article 7 will then be discussed and voted upon. But if Article 6 is not approved, then Article 7 will be passed, will be passed over. Pardon? All right. And Article 7 itself is to see if the town will vote to transfer from the Community Preservation Fund balance reserve from the housing category the sum of $30,000 to the Ayer Affordable Housing Trust, whose purpose shall be to provide for the creation and preservation of affordable housing in the town of Ayer for the benefit of low and moderate income households. So again, it's simple majority vote is required on both of those articles. It's not a 2/3. So make sure you have your voices being heard. And like I say, then the other one is just the Sandy Pond Schools, the one for CPC. Trying to think of anything else. We want to have our next meeting on November 20th. I believe 10 a.m. seems to work pretty well for the group. Does that sound about right?
Good with me.
Works great for us.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So again, if no one else has anything else to go ahead and discuss, I think we will have our job definitely cut out for us once this is approved.
I had one more question.
Sure.
Janet, and this is for Alicia, actually. Is there any, did I miss, or was there an opportunity for another state-run affordable housing conference, but done online? That was my question. I think I saw something a while back, but I wasn't sure.
There's been a lot online, but it's been affordable housing. A lot of it's been about how to spend the money that's out there,
Okay.
which is the COVID money and things like that. And possibly I missed something too, but they didn't have the big one that they usually do down in Devon's.
Exactly.
I'll go back and take a look and make sure we haven't missed anything. I haven't recognized it, but MHP's been sending out a lot of stuff, so I could have missed it. I'll double check.
Okay.
I'll
Thank
double
you.
check. We just got something recently that from the Western Mass. MHP did something out in Western Mass, and it was an online one, but it looked to me like it was going to be, we're kind of in between. And it looked like it was going to be mostly about Western Mass and affordable housing and development and things like that. I felt like I didn't pay that much attention to it because I felt like we kind of got a lot on our plate on what we're working on, but I'll go back and look and make sure that there's nothing that people want to do and start sending it out to you guys.
But then we're also getting a big parcel.
I could certainly just forward my emails that I get and just hit forward, and then people can, pipe in and say, yeah, I want to do that, or no, I don't. That's something I can certainly do.
That sounds great.
That's a good idea.
I think the fourth on my mistake, that was right next door.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anybody?
Nope.
Okay, well,
People say, right?
if there's nothing else to go ahead and discuss, and like I say, our next meeting's November 20th, 2020, at 10 a.m. Can I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion, Karen Swanfeld, to adjourn the meeting.
All right. I know I keep going back and forth. I got to go get my Robert's Rules of Order. Didn't know whether or not we do need the second, and all in favor, but from what I'm understanding, we don't need a second. So, all right, meeting has been adjourned at 10:49.